Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk about a difference between security groups and network control, network access control list. So basically, we security groups we can use this at EC2, RDOs, load balancers, and then NACLs at mostly at subnets. So let's see what's the difference. In simple words, we apply EC2 on security groups at EC2. So those are like a front door, and while NACL like a fence around your house. So in simple words. So let's see that in action. So I have an EC2 machine. So basically what happens if you are trying to connect to your EC2 machine from your laptop. So for instance, you are trying to SSH into it. So the default port is 22. So the traffic goes this way. It goes from your laptop to internet, then it reaches VPC, then it reaches NACL. So usually it allows all the traffic from in and out, and then it goes to security group. So security group by default it doesn't give any rules. That means by default everything is denied. Okay. So if you don't open any port, for instance, if I go back to the security group, we choose it and edit inbound rules. So if you remove this rule and let's remove this as well. So it comes like this. That means basically everything is denied. So if you open port, that means allowed. So that means everything is denied. And when it comes to so NACL, everything is allowed for now by default. We have to configure it. So let's do that. So if you look at this diagram again, so it goes to NACL, then security groups. Basically, the security group is attached to ENI, not instance, and this ENI, like a network card, Elastic Network Interface card. Elastic means we can remove it, we can detach it, and we can attach it to different instance as well. So it goes to EC2, and it comes back in the same way. So the traffic we are it coming towards the EC2. That's why it is inbound traffic. This one is just response. Okay, don't confuse with the outbound traffic. This one is just a response we are getting. So the reason to call these security groups are stateful. If you open port 22 from inbound, you don't need to open any outbound traffic. It usually allows it. So let's see that in action. So if I try to SSH into my machine now, so that's my IP. So if I try to reach it, that's 229. I think that's the correct IP. Let's go back here. So it's over here. So I wanted to show you one more thing. As I said that the ENI and the security group is attached to ENI. So this one has one network interface. You click on here, you can see that security group is attached to this ENI. So this proves that. So go back again and look for the public IP. We got 229. So that's the same IP I'm trying to reach. So if I try to reach it, I'm not able to reach it because everything is blocked by default in security groups. So let's open it. Open inbound traffic. So I'm gonna open port 22. So that's the default port anywhere and save it. So if I try to connect it, do I change anything at subnet network ACL? No, I don't think so. Everything looks fine. It says connection timeout. So let me go back. Okay, that looks fine. IPv4. Oh, I'm sorry. I just opened outbound traffic. My bad. So let me delete it. So I didn't open any outbound traffic for now. We just need to open inbound traffic. So from anyway, save it. So once you do this, if you come back again, now you can reach it. Of course, I set it up any passwordless authentication. That's why I didn't ask for any password. I'll make a video on that one as well. So if I do that again, so I'm able to connect. I just opened inbound traffic. I didn't even open any outbound traffic. So this proves that this one is stateful firewall. So once you open it, inbound traffic, the response comes automatically. We don't need to open any outbound traffic at all. So what is outbound traffic actually? So the traffic starts from instance itself. The source is, it's going to start from here and goes out and comes back. So this is outbound traffic. So if you run a command apt apt install nginx for instance, so what it does is it's try to reach the internet. So the traffic goes from in EC2 to internet. That's outbound traffic. So let's try that. If I do if I try apt install for instance apt update, so nothing is going to happen because we didn't allow any outbound traffic. So that's the reason we usually keep it open, all the traffic, because the traffic usually starts from the inside of our machine. So there is nothing to worry. So we usually keep it as all traffic allowed in outbound. Okay, that's the safest way we can do. That's the safe thing I would say. So now if you try it again, now you'll be able to reach the internet. So you can get the updates now. When it comes to NACL, that's a bit complicated. So that's the reason the people don't touch it. Let me tell you the reason as well. So let's jump back to this NACL. So if you come back here, so the NACL works at subnet level. So if you apply rules at NACL, that's going to apply to all the EC2 machines inside the subnet. So if you change anything, so that all the machines are going to affect. So just make sure. So if you go back here, we got one more option in NACL. We can block the traffic from specific IPs, but when it comes to security groups, we don't have that facility to block the traffic from specific IP address. We can allow uh, traffic from a specific IP address. For instance, if I want to allow inbound traffic on SSH port from my IP only, you can use my IP. So no one is gonna connect except to this IP address guy. So we can do this, but we cannot block it. So that's the thing. But in ACL we can do that. So I'm just gonna make it anyway. Save the rule. Okay, we didn't change anything, so that's why. Come back. Yeah, that looks fine for now. So jump back to if I click on EC2 instance, then networking. So we have this machine in this subnet 408. So we need to look for NACL related to this subnet. So if I come back here, we got that public subnet here 408. So this is our NACL. You can click on here. So if you look in here, we got the default rules. All traffic is allowed in inbound and all traffic is allowed in outbound as well. So we are trying to reach our instance at port 22. So let's open port 22 for now in inbound and save it. And let's open. So we just open port 22 and everything is denied. So this works as a prior number. So if it is less than 100, so that's going to get more priority. So less the number, more the priority. Okay. And outbound as well. Just click on edit. Just open SSH and save it. So I think I lost the connection. This is expected. So if I try to reach again, SSH Ubuntu and public IP. Now we are not able to reach. So what's the reason? We opened port 22 inbound and outbound, say port 22 on NACL. Even we opened here as well on security group, we can say inbound role 22. Then why we are not able to reach? The reason, whenever you try to connect to EC2 machine on port 22, it reaches here, and while coming out, it chooses a different port. Okay, that could be any ephemeral port. So if I google it, I'll edit that. So if you look for this ephemeral ports, so the ports could be any one of these from this range. So we opened port 22, we didn't open any of these range. So let's do that. So we need to open these ports. So if I jump back to again outbound, and I could say custom TCP and then give that port range, save it and try again. Still we are not able to reach. Inbound traffic looks fine, outbound. So maybe it is taking some other port, so that's the reason. So let's try to change the ports from 32,000 in between 32 to 655. So that's the reason nobody basically touches these things because these are complicated, so we need to do it carefully. So if I come back again, I'm sorry, my bad, I gave this private IP, so it must be public IP, my bad. So let's change this to port 22 for now. So I just want to prove that. So just do port 22, inbound and outbound. Now get this public IP. See, we are not able to reach. So that's the reason we have to choose this ephemeral port range. So let's take these and go to outbound and NACL and give that port range. Now if I try it again, yeah, we are in. So if I do sudo su, so now what we can do, if you run this command net start, that's a Linux command to check the listening ports and active connections. If you run this command net start -a, now we can see that our IP and port as well. So if you look over here, this is my IP 86. If I do IP info, IP info, yeah, 86. So that's my IP. I connected to this machine. So here you can see that this is the port that EC2 machine is using while while coming out of while getting the response, it was using one of these ports. So from this range only, a formal range. So that's the reason, while opening, if you think that the traffic is coming on port 22 and the traffic goes out on the same port, so you're mistaken. So it usually chooses random ephemeral ports. So that's here we can block IP as well. So if I don't if I don't want someone to reach on this port 22, what you can do, you can give that source. Actually, you can give that IP and you can deny it. So if I give my IP, so that will be denied, and anyone else, if I allow a rule for others, any other IP, it's going to be allowed. So let's see if I copy it, go back here, paste it, /32. It's been denied, and let's make so everything is denied now. So now I need to open other rule. So I'm just going to make it as 101 because priorities matter. So it's 100 now. So let me open not all traffic. So SSS itself, if I give different IP, everything else. So now save changes. If I try to reach that again, okay, let me exit. Maybe I did a mistake in these rules. Inbound traffic is okay. Here I said everything is allowed, so this rule needs to be prioritized. That's the reason. So let me exit from this terminal again. So that's the reason the number matters. So this one, I'm going to say 100. That one is 101. So I'm giving priority to this one. Is already in use. Okay, maybe I'm going to say remove this. This one is 101 for now. Oh, my bad. Let me make it 100. This one is 100. Takes priority, and then I'm going to add one more rule. Actually, yeah, that looks fine. I'm going to add 101 and SSH, everything is allowed for other sources. So if I try to reach it now, this is not going to work. So this is how you can block. But in EC2, we just got an option. We can just allow. So if you want to allow port 22 from my IP, then you can do. Everything else is by default denied. So just try to understand these rules. Okay. So these are important. Just if you practice multiple times, you're going to get this. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and share. Thank you again.